Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rewrite Your Reality. I am your host, Reese, and today I wanted to talk about signs, synchronicity, birds before land, waiting, that kind of thing. Somebody asked me, two people asked me actually, or discussed with me, the feeling of feeling scared, feeling how can I be falling in love with my imagination, and what do these signs and stuff mean, right? They asked me like a bit of a deeper dive into those things. So let's just start with your imagination. Reality, as you perceive it, as you look out, there's no objective direction that reality is taking. You see, we see an image, and then we look at that image, and then we can't really help but think, depending on our assumptions, where that reality is going. It's okay to admit it, that this is what I'm thinking, right? This is what I'm thinking in the moment. And those things change accordingly if you keep on looking at that 3D reality based on how you feel, what your assumptions of yourself are, and what's going on, right? And they're always going to be changing. So if you're going to identify with your changing thoughts and your feelings, the changing circumstances and conditions out there, you're never really going to get anywhere. Not that you go anywhere, but you're always going to be experiencing very hot and cold conditions. You're always going to have the assumption, oh, it's working, or it's not. It's going my direction, or it's not. You see how you flip flop in those thoughts when you identify with them, because you're the one creating a story from whatever it is you are seeing. But when you say, you know what, I can see my three-dimensional appearances in reality. I know that I'm thinking something that does not serve me. I know that I'm currently having thoughts and assumptions that reality is going somewhere else. My core assumption is that I am reality. So regardless of what it looks like, it must be unfolding perfectly for who I say I am. And I am that which I have always imagined myself to be. It's my reality. It's unfolding for me regardless of what it looks like. Nothing's happening to me. It's all happening for me. And regardless of whatever iteration of version of a person or event or circumstance that I'm seeing, it must be unfolding according to who I am being. And I accept completely that I am. And I'm love. I'm healthy, wealthy, free, and I'm in love. That's what's unfolding. So, when you wait or feel like you waiting to accept that reality is done, to accept that reality is finished, and what I mean by finished, I mean you are that version already in its entirety who fell in love, experienced that love, and finished that life. It's done. It's completed within you. Your birth and your death are within you. Your real self, your true self, your I am awareness. So when you say, I'm scared to fall in love with this person that I don't actually know, it's because you're looking at it from a 3D point forward. If you look at it from a metaphysical point entirely, you realize the reason I can fall in love with this person and feel as if I already know them completely, intimately, and without separation, unconditionally, because there are no conditions to this, is because I already have it within me, and I completely accept that I can fall in love with the version of them that I see in my imagination, because that is the version of them that I fell in love with. That is the version of them that fell in love with me. That is the version of them and myself that I'm seeing that spent our lives together. That's my reality. It is my reality. It's already within me. It's already my identity. It's already within, it's already one with me. So when you realize that and accept this, then you're no longer waiting to fall in love. You're no longer waiting to have it. You already are that thing. You say, okay, no, but why is reality reflecting? Reality is changing. Reality is always changing. Why you're seeing something is whatever context you're seeing it in. It doesn't really matter, right? You can say the context is you're seeing a preference that you no longer choose, unfolding and changing into your preference. It doesn't really matter, right? It's always changing according to who and what it is you are conscious of being. Right? So consciously be the version of yourself you desire to be, regardless of what's going on out there. right? So don't wait to fall in love. Fall in love with that version, irrespective of you seeing it in the 3D, irrespective of how you are treated in the 3D by that same person, because it's not the same person. Tom Callan yesterday, I heard him say a wonderful, such a good line. It's like, there's a version of this person that is absolutely in love with you, but you are too focused on the other one. It's a completely different person, and it's so true. It really is, because if you look back at yourself, you were a different person way back whenever, right? You were different, but you are one with that version as well. That's why you can't be like, oh, it's not me. It's me, but it's not me. That's how it feels. So signs by the great late Neville Goddard. Signs follow, they do not proceed. What does that mean? It means that if you see something that you are considering a sign, and that is quite literally anything you see after the fact that you have imagined yourself as this identity, chosen this identity, have decided that no, this is who I am, regardless of anything, everything you see is a sign. Some things may feel more vivid to you, sure, right? Sometimes you'll run into that person that you are in love with for whatever reason and have a conversation, either it went well or in your perception it didn't. It doesn't matter. What's going on is your past and your future right now unfolding, right? Letting go of the old version of yourself and stepping into the realization and experiencing of the new version of yourself, right? Simultaneously, it's always here. So when we look at signs in the three-dimensional world, right, and I'll draw this quickly, right? When we look at signs in the three-dimensional world, we have this tendency to conflate them into a metaphysical world, right? So here's a road, right? We see our destination somewhere where we want to go, city, whatever the hell, right? Doesn't really matter. Our destination is here, our end, right? And then we see signs on the way here, right? And then we typically see ourselves at the starting point, right? From a 3D sense. But you have to understand, from a 3D sense, we do see signs in front of us coming toward us as we go toward it, and then it kind of indicates when we get there how long or how far away something is, right? There's 6,000 meters that way, kilometers, miles, whatever. 6 days this way, that way, right? We typically have that. So we try to go faster to get there faster, right? But you have to understand something, is that even in the metaphysical world, the physical world, the sign follows the direction you were already going in. You see, if you went this direction, right, to something else, a different version of yourself, right, that sign is not here. A different sign is here. A different thing is here. A different indicator of where you are. That sign isn't there saying go this way. That sign isn't there saying go that way. Signs are not indications of the direction you must take. They are indications of where you are already. They exist like that where you are already. And from a metaphysical point of view, right? You exist. This all exists within you, right? You exist here, 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 you exist here. You exist all over here. You are in your end already and experiencing that end from both points so you can experience the fullness of that identity. Does it feel good all the time? No, it doesn't. Right? That's the old you falling away and seeing your preferences that no longer resonate with you. And if you feel like as if those are your preferences, that is your reality, not your preference, you feel what you call pain, suffering, because you're identifying with that which you're no longer. I am not. So you are the entirety of it, right? It goes up and down. Everything goes up and down. Like energy is the vibration of up and down, right? So you are always on the path, and the sign is an indication of what path you are on. They don't tell you what path to be on. They're not indications of direction. They're indications of you are already that which you desire to be. You're already in that reality. It's already fulfilled. You're already in it. From a metaphysical point of view, you are all over. You're everywhere. Right? It's the same thing with birth before land. Noah sent out ravens. Ravens are his doubt, right? They represent doubt, they represent fear, they represent waiting, they represent whatever the hell, right? And they always come back without any indication of anything, right? They just say, oh, there's nothing there, there's nothing there, there's nothing there. And if you believe those ravens, there'll be nothing there. But he sent out a dove, and that dove is representative of him saying, you know what, regardless if there's land, I believe it's there. Regardless if there is land, regardless if my desire appears in my three-dimensional world or not, I believe that it exists, it's there, it's here, it's now. So he sends the dove out. The doves come back empty-handed. Okay. Sent the dove out again. It is faith. Remember, it is faith. Dove is faith. It goes away. It comes back with a sign, a olive branch, I think it was, right? Comes back with an olive leaf. That's what it was. An olive leaf. Indicating that, you know, I am in my desired reality. It's unfolding. The water is receding. It's unfolding. There's nothing I need to do. I don't need to go out the boat with a bucket and take out water and help God move this with my puny little bucket, right? I don't have to do that. Sent the bird out again. The bird didn't come back. The bird didn't come back because he's fully, absolutely, and utterly committed to that desire, regardless of what it looks like, and he just kept going. And eventually Noah found land, as in his desire manifested in his physical reality, and he experienced the fulfillment, and he's continuously experiencing the fulfillment of it, because your desire goes a lot further than even you can imagine. I'm not saying something better. I'm saying that when you go to your end, realize that even at your end, it still goes on, because it has to, right? You are in that reality. The signs are saying you are in that reality. Synchronicity says you are in that reality. Serendipity says you are in that reality. When you stop waiting to be in that reality, you are in that reality. When you fall in love with that reality, you are in love with that version of reality, with that person, with that job, with that money, with that health, with that whatever. If you fall in love with it, you are completely, absolutely committed. Fall in love with it. Don't hold back. Pearl a great price. Pearl a great price to me is you completely and utterly believing in your imagination to the point where you fall in love with it. Because you say that's my reality, regardless of what's going on. I choose to fall in love absolutely with that idea, with that belief, with that imaginal scene that I see in my mind's eye. I choose to absolutely and unabashedly, brazenly give myself to it completely, and fall in love with it completely. I am that, regardless of any version of person or event that says otherwise in my three-dimensional reality. I am that. That's who you are. That is what science and synchronicity and waiting, serendipity kind of boil down to. That you are already that which you desire to be. They are not an indication of where you must go, how long it's going to take, or where it's going to happen. They are an indication that you are in that desired reality. You are in your desired identity. It's unfolding perfectly. Do nothing. But imagine, assume, and affirm how you would like things to be. Always be God, be source, be that person who plants those seeds in your imagination. That's your reality. And yes, sometimes you have that fear of saying, you know what if I fall in love and this thing never happens? Fall in love anyway. No, fall in love with it anyway, truly, because it's your preference. If your preference is you don't really want to wait to fall in love with this person that you want to be in love with, then you just want to be with somebody else just to experience it, then do that too. That's perfectly fine. But if you really want to experience something specific, regardless of whether you experience it or not, because you know your experiencing of reality is reality anyway, because you are the self, not just the body, and the body is feeling that which you as the self are calling forth from the unseen to the seen in your imagination. Be it. Be that. I am your host, Reese. Thank you for the questions and the coming out with those stories, the deeper dives into those kind of things. Appreciate it a lot. I love talking about this stuff. I love the insight that I get from someone asking me a question. I love it. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the liking, subscribing, and questions. And I have a Facebook group available if you want to join that and ask me stuff more directly. There's a TikTok page where I put versions of this as well as other shorter explanations of things that I feel will be helpful. Much love, much light, infinite gratitude for the support that I'm getting, and take care. I'll see you all in the next one.